Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws, in the building. We got D, we got Ern rocking out. As you can see, my man got the whole, we not playing with you. What we got, dog? What's the best joint you got in here in this collection, dog?
No such thing. What you mean? This is all elite right here. This the dream team.
The dream team.
The first dream team. The first dream team, dog.
The first joint, the 92 joint, the 92. Minus Christian Laettner, dog. Whose spot did he steal, dog?
That's when they were doing. Remember before it was collegiate players that would represent the U.S. So he was like the one collegiate player they put on the team.
Crud, dog. Crud.
But the joint in the case, though, first of all, that was the hardest one that I had to get. The one in that gold case in the front.
Did that jump come on a boat in a treasure chest, dog, to America?
It definitely came off a boat because you can't get it in the U.S. And the joint was a limited edition, and the bottle's made out of velvet. The joint is vicious. It might be my favorite joint ever. Burgundy velvet.
Woo! Hey, yeah, dog. Yeah, Cologne gang. Dog, Kevin Samuels ain't got nothing on.
Nothing. Nobody touching me out here.
Hey, yeah, nah, that's a fact, dog. That's a strong Cologne game, dog. That's like, hold on, young. You know, I do the math on stuff. That's like 20, 30K right there, dog. Yeah, you ain't playing with him, dog. You ain't playing with him. Welcome back. We got a lot of stuff on tap for today. We're going to talk about Rachel Nichols. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about the Wizards. It's going to be a heavy Black Panther day. I'm just going to let y'all know that off break so y'all can just get your minds right because, we have people from all different races listen to the show, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to give you a heads up, dog, because according to the backdoor tapes, they got the dude that was talking with Rachel Nichols. He said he was tired of the Black Lives Matter and the whole protest and all that stuff. So we gonna get into it. But for starters, we got a question of the day. Question of the day comes in. It says, "I'm getting married in mid-September, and let me take that off so I can see. All right, and one of my bridesmaids, who was one of my oldest friends, been friends since we were in the first grade, bought a bridesmaid dress back in March, but at her goal dress size at size 12. She's currently a size 18, but down from a size 24. She has fluctuated with her weight her entire life, and I know it's a very sensitive topic for her. I want her as a bridesmaid, no matter what her dress size is. However, I know the dress she bought does not fit her yet. And while she does have over 3 months, I don't think it's realistic that she will be in a size 12 and have time for any sort of alterations for the dress. I brought it up with her in passing when we talked about my dress and all the fittings, all I'll need to do. She just brushed it off. Some additional background: when we were in college, we got into a huge fight. We didn't talk for almost the whole year because I was concerned because she had gained a lot of weight her freshman year. She went from a size 10 to a 20 in one school year. And I thought she might have a health issue like her thyroid or something. And she got so upset with me. We made up, but I have never brought up her weight again because I know she gets upset by it. She gets enough crap from her family who constantly hound her, and I don't want to be the one of those people. I don't want to upset her, but I also want her to have a dress that looks good on her as she is now. I know she has an incredible goal, and I'm so proud of her for all that she's achieved over the last year. But how can I talk to her about this without coming off like a bridezilla or fat shaming? What can she do?
Ask the question. I don't understand why women always got to do this tiptoe dance just about regular stuff with each other. And this is part of the reason why everybody been in the uproar over the last year when somebody tells some truth. Ask the question. Hey, the wedding's coming up. What's it looking like with that dress? What's going on? That's like 10 pounds per dress size to go down. So that's what? 4 dress sizes, 3 to 4 dress sizes, 30 to 40 pounds.
Dog, what you
minimum?
got to do, you got to get surgery to get down that quick, dog. It ain't gonna happen off no diet pills and.
Or you could exercise and eat right and lose it in 3 months.
Yeah.
But you know that's not gonna happen, or she would have been around that weight anyway.
Definitely got to push away from the table, for real.
Dog,
So
she
you gotta
can't
bring
even
it
have
up.
a table in her house. What you mean? The way she
That's a lot.
At an exponential rate out here, dog.
18 to a 12, that's a lot of weight to
Young,
dump.
10 to 20?
No, that's 10 to 15 pounds per dress size. So from an 18 to a 12, that's 3 dress sizes.
Dog, that's buffets, dog. That ain't even regular like Chipotle and stuff. That's old country.
So that's 30 to 45 pounds she got to lose in 3 months, which is doable.
Definitely.
But judging from her already being a 24 off the rip, it's probably not going to happen.
I mean, or she could just say, look, I'm going all in. Like if she sets the goal for that, you know what I'm saying, for the 12, she's just saying, hey, look, I know if I want to fit this dress, I have to hit this 12. You know what I'm trying to say? If she's going like a 14,
No,
she
she
may
bought
have
the
to.
dress already, D.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
If you don't lose that weight, you're going to have to buy another one.
Because the bad thing is about, like material, you can't add material, you can only take away. So
yo, you don't want to be in that jump and then back that thing up, come on, and then you try to do a move and the jump split in the back or your back come out that jump.
So
you don't want
did she mention how long it had been from the time she got the dress to now?
no, it didn't say.
Because to be fair, if she went from a 24 to an 18, that's the same amount of a jump.
Yes, it is.
So
It's
she
still
is putting in some kind of work.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a difference though. If it took her 2 years, I don't know how long the engagement was, but 2 years to go from 24 to 18,
right.
then you only got 3 months left. Go to Corral.
you already know. You already
Definitely
know.
at the buffet.
Buttermilk biscuits, dog. Extra.
Them joints be
Cake,
banging
ice
too.
cream.
Them more butter biscuits be hitting.
Them butter biscuits, dog. Hitting. Dog, that's tough. So it seemed like the friend, she not real confident that Slim can make the jump, make the adjustment. She not real confident.
But she also might be hypersensitive because it's her wedding. If the youngin already went down 45 to 30 pounds, it all depends on what that time frame is. Because she's obviously doing something.
Right. It's just what was that duration of time? Yeah, like you said.
Or is she plateauing? Yeah, it just
right. Because that's the thing about when you dump that type of weight, you do hit a stall point, and it's harder to then dump additional weight. Like initially, you can dump it fast, and then you like, man, I can't. These last couple pounds, I can't get them off. So you really got to kind of like dial in. So I mean, hey, look,
cookout season.
Oh, that's the thing. Summertime. You know what I'm saying? You diamonds want ice creams and Dippin' Dots and all that type of stuff, dog. So who knows? It's hard. But look, I give her props, man. She said, look, I'm gonna buy this 12, so I know I have to make this dress size. I don't know how much the dress costs, but I'm typically them dresses $100-something, 100 plus.
Indeed, 6 sizes from where she originally started, 24 to 12.
Yeah.
That's a bold move.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that means she fell off the wagon. Once she bought the dress, she just put that joint out of mind and just was like, whatever. So right. I'm with you, Ern. She definitely, if it's your wedding, because of course, women think about stuff they think about pictures and how the dresses look and fit and who gonna look silly and
who next to who and all this kind of stuff.
You already know. So look, if you a friend and you really rock with her, you don't want to ruin the day for your friend. You know what I'm saying?
It's a conversation. It doesn't have to be terrible. It's just a conversation, though.
Right.
Like we have 100% experience that happened in real life. Where you said like Obama got on the scale and Harold was like, "Dog, you gonna die? Like you can't be this weight. We need to help you. Like something needs to change." Yeah. Like women can't have those conversations with each other, but they need to.
Yeah, nah,
Because it's the
facts.
other thing, and it also disrupts the parity in groomsmen to bridesmaids if she don't make weight, and then she can't be at the
He's a,
wedding.
he's a,
He said,
oh,
"Make weight like she a boxer."
oh, boxing. Nah, facts though. But
It-
it's probably one look, but it ain't the same criteria for the dudes because it's gonna be one butterball bam on the other side. Like,
But
what I'm
he
saying?
got
They
the
gonna
right
match
suit
them up.
size off the
That's
rip.
the
He didn't
difference.
Yeah,
say
you
he
right.
was going to
You
lose.
right. You
He didn't
right.
say I'm gonna get a 44 and this
You
Bama
right.
really a
His jump
52.
his jump
Yeah.
oversized. You already know. You already know his jacket gonna be unbuttoned early. Uh yeah. Other news, we ain't get to talk about it. Bill Cosby, he out free, he in the streets. A lot of people have a lot of different things to say about it. Judge Joe Brown, dog,
Wow.
that Bama is OC.
Very.
He don't care no more. That Bama ain't been on TV in like 10 years.
Oh, he retired.
You know when people get
Listen,
old,
bro,
they say whatever.
Right.
he say whatever, dog. And he called the youngins groupies. And I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I think that because me and the missus, we talked, we had a heavy conversations, and from a male's perspective, you know, you can look at this a lot of different ways. And I'm not necessarily like for Bill Cosby in this situation or necessarily against him. I'm just saying the law is the law. And we see people make the law work for them all the time in different kind of ways. And so I just think with this situation, he had the ability to utilize the legal counsel that he had to be able to get out of the situation. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't know why people so upset over the jump.
So first, let's say it's not for or against Bill. We are against rape. Let that be the bar. We are against rape.
Facts.
But I think one of the issues people have is that they feel like he's guilty. It's like the OJ over again, but
Right.
he's not in jail. So they didn't acquit him. They said that the prosecutor came to an agreement where if he gave his deposition, they wouldn't prosecute him. That's the deal the prosecutor made. So he's out on that technicality, not an acquittal. Nobody said, oh, he didn't do what the accusations were, so now we're freeing him. That wasn't the kind of overturning of the case that it was, or the conviction that it was. So, I mean, I get why a lot of people are upset because they feel like the Bama's rapey and that he should be locked up. I'm not saying that that's not necessarily true, but he's not out based on getting acquitted. It's a court technicality. And if you want to have black people be able to receive the same amount of justice in this legal system as everybody else, you might want the Bama locked away, but you want him locked away based on a legal, fair conviction based on the justice system. We can't like mishmash and kind of like just apply it the way they do. Oh, we don't like this Bama, so, or what he did we find egregious, so F the law. We're going to exercise justice our own way, because that's the same thing that people get bent out of shape when police feel like they do when they become judge, jury, and executioner and stuff like that. So you want this Bama to be in jail with a legal, fair conviction.
I'm still watching the Cosby Show though, dog. Like
You can't say that.
why can't I, dog?
Is it even on TV though? I thought they took
No,
it
it's
off.
on.
the-
It's
on
definitely
TV,
on.
dog. No, it's the greatest show ever ever.
It is.
Ever. Listen, bro. If the Bama's want to take me to task on it, it's the greatest show, family show ever, dog. You can play it for the kids. You can play it for adults. It's funny still to 2021. To beyond, it's still gonna be funny, dog. So
And what it did for HBCUs and
what it did for the black community, dog, black families, all of this stuff. Like, I mean, Bill private life aside, the show it's genius level, dog, and it'll never be anything like it or close to it.
The thing that I struggle with when it comes to this is we're forced every day to separate white people's egregiousness from their art and from their contributions to society. But when it comes to black people, it seems like we're held to a higher standard, which confuses the F out of me. You know what I mean? So that's where it becomes a tricky line. People don't say, oh, Thomas Jefferson raped slaves, so I'm a not put this $20 bill or, you know what I mean, in my pocket or so, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of the stuff that people excuse when it comes to white people that we just get held to a higher standard. And it, as a black man, you know, it feels funny.
Yeah, dog. It does feel funny. And then you got situations like the next one we about to jump to.
Right.
This dude, Trevor Bauer, accused of sexual assault. So the young is saying that the sex was consensual, but what happened after that jump, the Bama was beating on her, smacking her in the face, all types. She had
Lock
bruises.
them up.
But the thing is, you can't really find the pictures nowhere.
Not yet. That's what I was looking for to kind of see. This jump
was in the cut, dog. First of all, the story wasn't even like major news until like it, you know, because
it won't be.
It just wasn't major news. Then the Bama's on there. The team didn't even suspend him. Like it was the league. The MLB stepped in and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to have him sit out."
For
and then they just submit for a week, dog.
For a week.
I can't listen. It's a disparity, dog. Cause this situation, like especially what he's being accused of, it shouldn't be a week. It should have been indefinitely. And now they kind of reevaluating because it's more eyes on it. It's like, oh, well, we can't just put him back in the mix because, you know, it'll just look bad, you know, and everything's just based upon perception, not about what's right. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know if the Bama's skin tone was just a little bit darker, if he would be getting all this.
Or if it's a different sport, because this is baseball. This is not basketball or the NFL. And you know how that thing will be polarizing. That joint will be everywhere on every cycle, nonstop.
And then
the other
front page situation.
Oh, without question. Yeah. And then the other thing, so I saw some of the stuff so supposedly it was a consensual thing. They were, you know what I'm saying? They were having sex or whatever. And he texted her and was like, "Hey, are you into getting hit?"
Like some fetish type stuff?
What kind of perverted type?
Because like, so basically there was text between the two of them supposedly that said that they were having this like through text talking about how they had like to have rough sex. The two of them. So
like punching young is rough?
Well, not that type of rough, but then he brought up, I think he just brought it up saying, "Hey, you know, we having rough sex. You know, have you been hit before?" You know what I'm trying to say? He's trying to take it to the next level. Like fisticuffs, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so you know, jokers with them perversions try to ease it on
right,
like down the road,
right?
Nah.
First he smacked her on the butt or something, and then he went punching her in the eye.
Choke a little harder, and harder every time. Then it just progressed till he get where he want to be deviant.
Jumped.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't, man. Dog, bar him from the league. Bang. Forever.
And so that's what they're saying now. So then, of course, after the whole altercation, she said yes, it was consensual, but her face was black and blue, and head, she cracked her cranium and all this stuff.
Lock this nigga up.
I'm like,
you gotta lock him,
dude. Like, really?
You gotta lock him up, dog. You gotta lock him up, dog. He a danger to the community right now. You talk about sexual predator? That's him. Get him off the streets.
Dog, we just one segment away, and this man would have made a complete 180.
Get him off. Boy. Get him off the streets. Yo,
it's crazy, dog. It's crazy. And now, so you had this whole situation that's set up where now that they just gave him a week of kind of suspension. You don't know what's gonna come out of this thing at the end of the day. And you know, I haven't, like you said, I haven't seen any photos of the altercation, but supposedly there is photos out there that kind of show the evidence of her face and her head and everything. Hard to find, man. But that's allegedly what happened. So now we're gonna see what's gonna come out of this. But the thing is, he's a good pitcher, and you know how it works.
And they own big bread too. This Bama got like a 3-year, $100-something million contract.
Exactly.
So, you know they like.
Yeah, exactly.
They trying to weasel, you know.
And you know how it is for teams, man. When a player that is at that level, at an elite level, at a position, there's always some type of leniency that they get
You
over a
already
bum
know.
sauce Bama. Bum sauce Bama, you're out of here. You know what I'm trying to say?
Immediately.
Cut
You cut
immediately.
immediately.
If you winning me World Series, how can lawyers get the lawyers? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna find a way to try to make that thing work and minimize, let it die down, and have the Bama play or something. It's messed up if that's based on what I read.
Based
initially.
upon what I read, he can't play ever again, though.
It's like
Ever again. Ever again. Get him out of here.
You wild boy.
Straight like that. Speaking of banning, Sha'Carri Richardson, they suspended her for 1 month. I guess they could have did as much as 3 months or a year suspension. And I guess for infractions that are not related to the actual sport, that are outside of being related to the sport. So if you use like PEDs or something of that nature, then you can get the year suspension or 3 months. It just depends on their discretion. So they basically reduced her suspension to 1 month. There's been a petition that's been signed, over 400K signatures on this petition, basically saying that the whole synopsis of the petition is that the marijuana laws and stuff, these instituted restrictions are a result of basically the drug era and the war on drugs. And basically it's a systematic way to kind of target minorities and people of color who end up having these infractions or suspensions. I mean, I think
white people partake in marijuana at the same rate that black people do.
They do.
So that nullifies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think it's a weak argument because, ultimately, I mean, it's weed. What are we talking about? Isn't like
I think it's two separate conversations that people are struggling to have both conversations. Mm-hmm. The first piece is, yes, marijuana being illegal in the U.S. in 2021 is a dumbass rule, and it's ridiculous. The second part is it was a dumbass decision to smoke weed, right, knowing that you have rules in place to live up to. So it's like they don't want to hold her accountable for the decision she made. Mm-hmm. Like we treated Josh Gordon like he was a crackhead for smoking weed. All of the mocking of the black players in the NBA talking about weed in NFL. So it's like she's an adult. I get her mom passed and she struggles. Mm-hmm. Everybody in life struggles with things. People have jobs where they aren't on TV or in athletics where they have to take drug tests. It's all stupid, but it's still the rules. If you want to work and you want to get a paycheck, people comply. It's a bunch of dumb shit in this country that we just comply with because we want something out of the situation. Yeah. I don't understand why, because everybody got all high on her because they saw the weave and the nails and all this other stuff, and she became a overnight hero and sensation. I get it. But at the same time, she's an adult. You got to be accountable for the decisions you make. And it's not like they made the rule after they called it. The rules been there.
And that's the thing. And then, of course, everybody's is paralleling what Michael Phelps did when he had his weed joint and how he still was able to compete and win gold medals and all that stuff.
Didn't he get 6 months, though? He didn't do it right before the...
Yeah, he didn't do it right before the Olympics. He
did it in the off season. He had time leading up to when he was supposed to...
to compete, yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. So for me, it's like you said, you knew the rules. I understand you were grieving with your mother and stuff like that, but you still knew what the rules were. And so to me, at the end of the day, you just knew the consequence of that. And you can't kind of hold your head. Well, I'm not saying that she was, but people in general saying, hey, because Phelps did it.
She's been accountable.
She's taking accountable. She's taking accountability for it.
And that's right. Yeah.
It's like everybody else is like, trying to champion for her, like, let her play, let her run. It's like,
she get to run the relay at least, she don't get the one.
Though. Youngin got wheels. That's a fact.
Oh, without question.
She's smoking you in your prime.
Yeah, dog. I can't listen. She dusted me. She got wheels. I don't get. Yeah.
If I ran track for my whole 4 years, I don't know. I may have get it.
Oh,
Nah, but
Dog.
she fast though. Her speed is
Definitely got
special,
will.
man.
Yeah,
For real.
she got that speed. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's definitely an unfortunate situation. I mean, let it serve as a lesson to young people trying to get into certain places. Like, you just have to be mindful, young. Like, as soon as you about to step into greatness in the threshold, it's gonna be a counterfeit. It's gonna be something to try to like move you off that mark. So you just got to be aware of things that can sabotage your greatness, young. So for her, I of course I want to see her do well, and I want to see her, have the chance to compete. But the 400K signatures and all of that, I mean, I don't see it changing the rules or switching up the situation. Yeah, I don't see that changing. Uh, Speaking of changes in situations, uh, earlier this week, over the weekend, really, Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor, uh, the beef kind of came to the surface. Uh, Rachel Nichols was recorded on a bat phone. Nah, it wasn't even a bat phone. It was I guess they had a recorders that they used for the ESPN while they were in a bubble, and it was a hot mic. It caught a conversation that she was having with another individual, and she was basically discussing Maria Taylor's ascent to the top and how ESPN was essentially, using Maria Taylor. She was insinuating that Maria Taylor was being used by ESPN to kind of check a box for all the things that were happening in our society revolving around racial inequality, Black Lives Matter, and all of that. And so she was insinuating that that's why they were moving Maria Taylor into these spaces or whatever. So the tape got out, everybody heard it, and there was mixed emotions about the situation. Some felt Rachel Nichols like didn't really say nothing egregious. Others thought her insinuating that Maria Taylor didn't earn her spot and basically was just handed to her because she was Black. Goes into a narrative that pops up in a lot of different situations when it comes to jobs and careers, especially when Black people are elevated in certain spaces. What are y'all thoughts on the jump? I mean, people were coming to Rachel Nichols' aid. She apologized on
Definitely the
TV.
Coons. You saw Kendrick Perkins couldn't wait. Steven Jackson couldn't wait.
No, listen, we know how it go. They took him in the back room. They said, "Hey, we need you to make a statement. We need you to help us out here because it's a mess. It's a complete mess. And the only way, this is just the facts, white people know how to clean up messes like this is to get Black people to help them clean it up.
Tell them I'm not racist. Tell them you came to my Christmas party. Like, that's just how they do, dog.
And I mean, honestly, do I think Rachel Nichols is racist per se? I think she more so embodies what a lot of white people embody. Like, they just behind the scenes, it's just this entitlement that causes them to devalue people who don't look like them. I just don't know if she would have been talking like this if it was a white woman that was competing for that same situation. Or maybe so, because I know it's competitive with women in sports as well, but I just don't know if the circumstances are different. And you change the players that she's talking like that.
And if her stance is that ESPN is trying to just get some low-hanging fruit and just throw minorities in there to shut people up, people could say the same thing about her having the job she had. So, I mean, you saw she quickly caught herself where she's like, oh, I know what it's like, though, as a woman. That's what they always do, dog. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear it.
Isn't she Hispanic descent or no? Or she just...
It's all the same to me.
Okay. I just wasn't sure, but I got you.
I mean, this whole situation is just, like I said, it's par for the course, dog. This happens all the time. This happens in these back channels. Bama's be having conversations behind the scenes. They be slandering their Black colleagues and all like that because they
smiling in their face, acting like they part of the movement, what she's done from the bubble on.
Yeah. So, it's just one of them things. It could just. It's unfortunate it got out because now you got to address it. But now people know, like behind the scenes, you snaking. She probably was all buddy and
you already know Jimmy Butler.
And so it's a rumor out here. So now that her name is then popped up in circles, now it's a rumor that Jimmy Butler tagged her in the bubble, and so that's circulating heavy. And I don't think you can't say nothing. You can't even respond to rumors like that.
You better not.
That's going to take on a life of his own.
It definitely will
be in a gauntlet.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah, and that's
we got a saying, whitey gonna whitey, dog. Eventually. If you ever get in a group chats, in a private text messages amongst each other when you're not involved or it's not money involved, dog, that's how they think.
Yeah. And I'm not going to even see, I'm not going to take it that far because I know there's
not on the air.
Everybody not going like that, though. Everybody not, you can't make absolutes all across the board. Everybody not going like that. But what there percentage? Is a majority.
He can't give that.
He can't. It go right back to Kevin Samuels. If we was talking about women, talking about a small minority being an exception.
Yeah, you're right.
We talking about the norm. It's more than half.
It's more than half.
And I don't even think what she said was exceptionally racist. I'm saying this how they think.
Yeah.
It's just and it's a lot of black people think too. It's a American thing, not necessarily a white or Spanish. You know what I mean? Where they just assume
it's American culture
that a black person is gifted to get where they got, like that, like they have to work harder than what black people have to do. That's just how people view things. Mm-hmm. And I be experiencing, I'm sure D all the time, like you be in certain spaces, people looking like, how you get here? Why are you here?
Don't drive a 4-wheel car with power windows. They were like, how'd you get that vehicle? Like, bruh, what you mean? Like, I work at the same time as you.
Yeah, the higher you go up the ladder, the more you're going to see that this is just the nature of how this drink works in this country, though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now they moved both of them off. They put what's her name?
Oh yeah, we gotta find her name for sure.
They put not Jessica Reedy, who I love, by the way.
That's not it. That's not her name. That's not it.
It's the
baddest woman on TV.
Malika Andrews.
Yes, sir. That's it.
They went ahead and threw Malika Andrews in there, do the sideline reporting. Because they don't want it to be a distraction.
Correct.
On the whole.
Can she keep that job, please?
It's already a distraction, though, that they created. It's unfortunate they have one position that two women are kind of like fighting for. Like,
you see how that is? Hunger Games. You know,
so crazy, dog.
That's how they do
it. And it's interesting. Like, you don't really see males doing the sideline reporting like that. It's like it's typecast for women.
Is it? I be seeing dudes.
Yeah.
Who?
Craig Sager was a big time joint. The Batman from here, Aldridge, David Aldridge.
Oh yeah, David Aldridge.
It's a rack of dudes. I feel like do it.
Okay.
But TNT not TNT. Is it ESPN in particular? Just happened to have her because she does The Jump, which is the main NBA show for ESPN. So it's only natural, I think, that she would also be. You know what I mean? One of the main people who are featured on like the playoff games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, moving on. We got the NBA playoffs, dog. We in the finals. What's the odds you put $100 on the Suns going to the finals at the beginning of the season? How much bread you getting, dog? What them odds looking like?
I don't know what it was, but I know
it was probably 15-1, maybe.
15-1, dog. It might have been 20-1, honestly.
Now winning the chip, which they about to do, that Drake might be like 50-1.
30, yeah, something crazy, dog. Something crazy. You got Giannis, who was doubtful, was upgraded to questionable. Is that just the coach playing games, young? He's not playing, dog. His knee contorted
backwards. That joint went reverse.
The joint should have snapped. It should have snapped, dog.
Yeah,
he cannot play in this joint, dog. He can't play no more this season, honestly.
I
you risking his future, D.
I hear you, but I think he's gonna risk it all for a chip. You know what I'm trying to say? If there's an opportunity to risk it, it's gonna be for a championship. That'd be the time to risk it.
But D, you risk it for a chip, you hurt yourself more and you lose.
I feel you.
That's like you taking your rent money, going down to Maryland Live saying, I'm gonna just put it on black, dog. It's either red or black. I'm gonna just take.
I hear you.
You win it, you win it, you good money. You like, yes, doubled up, let's go. You lose, you can't go home.
So let me ask y'all this. I got a question for you.
Sleep outside.
So I got a question for you. Dog, look. So when Giannis got hurt, right? And I was like, man, this is an opportunity for Brook Lopez, you know what I'm saying, to be Brook Lopez, right? Because he's a traditional center in the sense. And I almost feel like Brook Lopez makes the offense better. Like it makes it more versatile, I should say, with him in the lineup than he does with Giannis. Because to me, most of what he does is better than Giannis. Like he's a better scorer. He can post, he can shoot the mid range, and he can shoot the three, and he can still defend because he was blocking shots. You know
when
what I'm
he's
saying?
on though, he's just so inconsistent.
Honestly, the last 3 games that Bama been playing out of this world,
bruh, lights out.
So I get the feeling like this dude is, but. He can't really replace Giannis though.
No, I'm not saying he replaced. I'm just talking about right now in terms of his game style and the way the team is playing. He actually does a better job currently right now. Now I'm not saying he's better than Giannis, nothing crazy like that. Because to me, it was just so easy for teams to stop Giannis. They just built this little soft wall, and the Bama would just kind of turn away and not try to like bowl through it. You know what I'm trying to say? And it was just, and he can't shoot free throws. And when the crowd started counting, the Bama was airballing free throws. In that last game he played when he hyperextended his knee. That Joker was airballing. So it's those little things that will hurt you down the stretch when you got your best player that can't even shoot free throws. He can't shoot jumpers and he can't shoot threes. When he did that, he airballed that too. So it's just not saying that Brook Lopez is the better player. That's insane. But what I'm saying is for the way the offense is, because it allows other guys to, you know, like Middleton and you know what I'm saying, to play better. It forces the whole team to play better as opposed to just watching Giannis just dribble to the cup. He'll come back out. He'll try to create space, and then he'll just bogart to the cup. You know what I'm saying? He has no moves. He can't cross over nothing. So I mean, they need Giannis, but I just feel like the offense is more versatile with Brook Lopez. I don't know if you guys feel the same way as I do, but just what I've noticed when they won those last 2 games against Atlanta.
All right.
He's gonna have a whole different world playing against Ayton versus trying to play against anything that Atlanta had. Because they try to play that small lineup anyway. So I think you're gonna get a good chance to see if he can sustain that against a team that's more fit to play somebody with his kind of size.
They match up more better. Yeah, I just, to me, I think Giannis being out almost writes the ticket for Chris Paul and them. Like I think that
he gonna get his first chip.
Giannis I think Giannis needs to be there in order to give them a viable chance. I think they're a solid team. Milwaukee's a solid team. And what they did against Atlanta was because it was Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta was dealing with injuries. And Atlanta was, you know, just a little undersized, like you say. Brook Lopez felt like, you know, it was Christmas time. He doing whatever he want. Bama catching oops. I ain't seen this Bama jump off the ground in like 5-6 years.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this Bama flying through the air, one hand dunks on Bama.
Dunking like crazy.
He was dunking like crazy. And one jump, he had like more dunks than he had the whole season. So, I mean, it sounds nice, but I just don't think that the Suns is built differently. They're much better defensive team than the Bucks are. I think Bucks was like near almost last in defense in the league, like 29th, or they were back there, though. But I think the Suns win it, dog. If Giannis can't go, dog,
I even think fully healthy is. Go ahead.
I think even if Giannis was out there, he not going to be 100%. And ultimately, to me, if he's not 100%, that hurts the team.
Yeah, because he can't shoot. If he can't ball guard to the rim, that's it. He's ineffective.
Yeah. So I mean, if you Budenholzer, what's the Bama name? Budenholzer, Budweiser.
You keep calling this
Billy
man
Bob.
Giannis like his name began with a J. You calling him Giannis.
Listen, I'm not playing Giannis, dog. I'm sitting the Bama down saying, look, bro, if we make it to game 7, you can play. But I'm not going to risk your future, dog. You're the future of the franchise. They just up your contract. You go out there, Joe, and you, like I said, you put your money on black, dog, and you do not win. Let's say he go out there, Joe. He going 75%. They wrap his knee up, put the tiger bomb on there, everything, shoot him with the cortisone, Joe, so his knee don't swell up. He go out there and he kind of tentative. These Bammers are going 100%. You can't be going 65, 70% where everybody else is going 100%. And then they going at you 100%. And then they're going to really want to see where you at. So you're going to be forced to play at a higher level than you truly want to play. And then you just run the risk of getting injured, dog. And the injury that means your whole next season is lost. You can just go ahead and pack it up.
Yeah, and I feel like if Giannis had like a post game or something he could rely on offensively, besides just using his speed and just kind of get a running head start, then it'll be different. But I don't offensively, how is he going to score if he can't even run? That's my whole kind of stance on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing. Hey, Aaron, you were about to say something. I got cut off. You were saying something about the Bucks.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Thing, man. So Harold, since you have the Suns winning it, what you got, a gentleman's sweep? Or you got, you know what I'm saying?
I think the Bucks get 2 games.
Okay.
I think it finishes in 6.
Right. So in 6.
I think the Bucks get 2 games. I think they get spirited, at home, and they play, good. Mm-hmm. But then I just think the Suns, they just smell blood, and then they end up just taking it, Like, all you need is Brook Lopez, the old Brook Lopez, to show up 1-2 games where the Bama get like 6 points and 3 rebounds because he's been shooting a bunch of threes, and then they done. You know what I'm saying? You really need Brook Lopez to be a presence down low in the paint. And that's not what he's typically done. He's typically stayed out on the perimeter, shot a bunch of threes, and been like a hybrid big man. But he doesn't.
But I hear you.
Double-digit rebounds.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sometime when it comes to scoring points. He can shoot pretty good, but not to the level where I'm just like, we're gonna work the offense through him. It's going through Middleton, it's going through Rue Holiday.
Yeah.
And then you hope some of these other dudes like Pat Connaughton and some of these other dudes on the team, Bobby Portis, Big Eye Portis, can step up and help you out, dog.
But look, so let me ask you this. But do you believe the reason why he played like that is because Giannis, that's his home, the lane. So he couldn't be a big man. It's almost like when the Miami Heat got what's his name from Toronto, when they all kind of teamed up. Chris Bosh was not a traditional guy out in the perimeter. He was a traditional big man getting that double rebound and scoring down low. But he had to change that game because LeBron needed that paint.
He different. Chris Bosh game different, D.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is but because of Giannis, it turned Brook Lopez into a perimeter guy because he couldn't be in the paint. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, dog. Maybe. I just, the thing is, I've seen him play perimeter for so long and disappear time to time for a whole 2 seasons. How long he been with the Milwaukee Bucks? And the last 3 games, this Bama it looked like somebody tampered with his sliders in the settings, and the Bama just been playing at a new level. So if he can sustain it, I'm with you. I'm with you. But I just don't. I don't see
You
him
don't believe that
sustaining
he
it.
could sustain it for a
I don't
whole
believe it,
series
dog.
and help the
I don't
build. I
believe it. I
understand.
think
I
I think
understand
that I
that.
think the build of the Atlanta Hawks and how they were built made it comfortable for him to be dominant because he's like, ain't nobody really can contest me. I'm bigger than everybody. Actually, like I can do this, and there's really no opposition to him. So yeah, I just think this series is going to be different, bro. So I got the Suns winning it in 6 games,
Sweet.
4-2. Aaron, you got a sweep.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
D, who you going? You going with Milwaukee?
Yeesh.
You think he going to put the Tony Starks on his leg and go out that jump?
Oh, he can't, man. I don't care what kind of iron antimanium they put in that joint. His leg is finished, dog. That joint. I don't know how
Dog,
his femur
I
held
don't know
up.
how. That's what I'm saying.
Dog, the
Dog,
joint,
the joint should have broke,
the
dog.
joint was
When Paul
flexible,
George, when
dog,
Paul George broke his leg and it hit the
and
baseboard,
it
it
snapped.
was similar to that, but it just didn't snap.
Right.
So it was the
It
grace of
probably
God
broke.
kept
They
that
just put
joint.
that Bama in the rejuvenate or something like the old what was the joint that the little cartoon used to come off where they Bama's get broke up, they just put them in the rejuvenated, they be back out there the next day. They
Dog,
probably got technology that
dog.
we don't got, though.
dog,
Dog,
because
what technology is that, dog? Can I
right.
get it? I start hooping again. The Mavericks give me that technology.
That Bama had
Shit.
flexible bones, dog. You're not supposed to
Flexi-
have flexible
Dog,
bones,
at
dog.
two, how much he weighed? 265?
Right. And 7 foot, all that extra bent, dog. No. I don't know how I thought for sure his leg was gonna be broke when that joint happened. I was
The
shocked when he
Bama
came back
walked
out.
off. When
Yeah.
he walked off, I was just like, yeah, he done. Because when I saw, I was like, yeah, he done. So
Right.
all this dog full questionable foolishness, man, get it out of here, dog. Ain't no way. If he play, I'm writing a letter, dog, to find out what kind of serum they gave this Bama dog in the locker room. Because it's no way. It's no way.
I think I ain't gonna lie to you. With all that being said with Brooke Lopez, I don't like y'all all saying I don't believe it's sustainable with Brooke, but I just noticed a difference in the way that team flows offensively with Brooke in the lineup, playing a traditional big man role and spacing the floor really good. And the fact that he can still shoot, but I don't know if that's enough. I don't believe it's enough to beat the Suns. I feel like the Suns have more talent, and I feel like the Suns are gonna end up winning the chip. That'll be their first chip, right?
Yeah, Barkley ain't getting one.
Yeah,
Nah.
Barkley ain't do it.
So this is the thing. This is if I was coaching the Bucks, this is how they can win. Rue Holiday got to shut Devin Booker down. Like Devin
How,
Booker
Sway? How?
I'm
He
just
gonna give
saying-
him 50, at least one game this series.
Listen. What I'm saying is, I ain't say he did it. I'm saying that's what I would tell. Like I would put look, bro. If we gonna have a chance at winning, you got to limit him to under 20 points.
That's not gonna happen.
Impossible. Without an
I
injury.
mean, that's what you got to do. And Rue is a good perimeter defender, dog. He's solid. So
he getting
I
50.
mean,
But the only thing he is a very good defender. But when I saw him match up against in this past series against Atlanta, I can't think of his name now. Trae Young. Trae Young was giving him the business.
but Trae Young different. He a bug, dog. Trae Young is he cut from the bug cloth, dog. You know, D, you already know when you hoop.
I know what you're saying.
Bammers, you can't. It's a different kind of guard, dog.
Right.
You already know Bama be scattering and then add a wet jumper to that Bama too. Like,
Right.
It just, you know what I'm saying? It just he's good at checking more defenders that are like built like him. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this in football all the time, like the Antonio Browns, the quick twitch Bamas versus the Julio Joneses. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just different. So I think Devin Booker is more like his speed, and I think that's somebody he would disrupt a little bit better. I'm not saying he's gonna shut down Devin Booker. I'm just saying that's what the goal would have to be.
And you think you'll put Middleton on Chris Paul because of his length and his height?
Nah, I mean, I think you could put Middleton on Chris Paul, and you just say, you know, you just use your height to just make it tough on him. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting series, though. It goes down tonight. We're gonna be tuned in. before we get out of here, dog, I got to talk about my boys, but they're not about to be my boys anymore, dog. Who the Wizards gonna hire as their next coach? You see, I got Sam Cassell grayed out because for whatever reason, I don't know if this Bama got mob ties or something. I don't know why he can't get a real look. Can y'all tell me why he can't get a look?
It ain't gonna come out till they get them Bams out the building. You know that.
Yeah, there must be something. But he wasn't always with the Wizards. Even when he wasn't there, he still, it's just something about the way is he more of a player's guy? Maybe people see him as a head coach. I don't know. 'Cause to me, you would think he would know how to be a head coach as long as he's been in the league.
Yeah, to me, he just strikes me as one of those guys who management cannot control. Like he's not going to acquiesce to everything just to get a job. And he probably answered questions too honestly in them interviews. Because everybody else get in there and start kissing ass. They want the job. I don't think he needs that kind of validation because he got rings. So I just think his approach is probably drastically different from some of these.
He like Aaron. If Aaron be in the interviews, like I'm working fully remote.
Yeah, no code switching at all.
Like
no
I'm
code
not
switching.
We not listen. This is how much money we on the table to start. If we not able to do that, then I can just go ahead and walk.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
it's okay with that. And that's different than a lot of these other coaches. They going, what you want? Yes, I can do that. Yes, yeah, I can do that. Do that.
You want me to play him how many minutes? Okay. Yeah. We can do that. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to ask certain questions and kind of get to where you're trying to get to as far as management to understand if somebody going to acquiesce or if they going to fight back. You know what I'm saying? And in this town where there's a whole bunch of funny business going on from top to bottom, and Bamas who shouldn't have no say, have say in stuff that happens, media people and all like that, Sam probably wasn't having none of it, dog. He probably talking about my practices is closed practices and I don't need you down there in the practice telling me what, they probably saying, if we want you to play, this guy over this guy, would you be willing to do it? And he probably saying, no. If I'm the coach of the team, then I'm coaching the team. And you the owner of the team, you own the team. You hire me to be the coach, that's what I'll do. I'll coach. And he probably not really for the whole politics and all the, how I go, D. It's a lot, it's a lot of suit wearing and sweet talking and, media gonna be asking you certain questions and, and I just think Sam Cassell just may be too real. If that's even a thing, dog. Bama just too real. So which one out of the coons they gonna hire then? That's what we got.
Come on, man. Stop.
I ain't going that far. But I mean, the fact that they hiring a black coach, I don't care. If it's Sam Cassell is my one seed. If I'm not getting that high, then I'll be okay with whoever else. I just didn't want another one of those retread like Stan Van Gundy.
Right. I know
what's the guy from Minnesota? I was tired of that. Randy Whitman, the other guy, Scott Brooks. Yeah. I want somebody who I could trust in a press conference where I can, when they say something, even if they don't say with 100% honesty, I know what he said. Yeah.
You can decipher the code because it's like, oh, this bad. So I would say I'm okay with the candidates that they selected. I just don't know if they're going to be set up for success. That's the problem I have with it.
And the only other thing I'll add is there's a slight red flag for me when it comes to Wes Unseld Jr. because of how things get run in this town and the overwhelming nostalgia that tends to run both of the primary organizations that we follow.
Right.
And so people will get caught up in, what his dad did, that same nepotism we would get irritated about if it was somebody else. Not to take away whatever accomplishments this Bama had, because I haven't followed him all that much. Mm-hmm. It just worries me in this city when it comes to those kind of things. Because his father even stayed around probably 5 years too long in the GM position here because of his role as a player here and the love that the owner had for him. So that's the only thing that I would be a little bit skeptical of. But, of course, I don't think I'm
So
not
do you
against
need
giving him an opportunity.
do you need a dude with a fresh start here, or do you need somebody who's traveled in these circles and kind of understand the landscape of this Washington D.C. area? Because Darvin Ham played with us back in the day. Wes Unseld, I'm sure he has some connection to the team in this situation. Sam Cassell, of course, has some ties to this area. Jamal Mosley, um, he's coach out Dallas. I don't really know too much about his track record, but I know Charles Lee, Buck's assistant, he has ties to the area, so he's been around this. He grew up in this area. Um, do you need to have ties to here, or can you get a
I
fresh
think it's
start
just
guy?
basketball. I think it's
That's
more
what I was
about
getting ready to say.
personality.
Yeah.
We love to see a coach finally be able to execute some X's and O's here. We haven't seen that in a while. And a player who's able to be able to, a coach that's able to connect with the players or communicate with the players. Because you could tell, and even though I didn't like Randy Whitman, it seemed like for the most part the players respected him to a certain level. When it comes to Scott Brooks, not only did he not know X's and O's, you could tell they were rolling their eyes when this Bama trying to coach because they know more than he knows. So I just want to see somebody who the players respect, even if they don't agree 100% with his method or the route he want to take. They respect him enough as a coach to go ahead and try it.
And I'm just shocked we have 5 black candidates. That's the thing I was surprised by. I mean, and I see what they did. They got candidates are from winning franchises. 2 from the Bucks, 1 from Dallas. These were all playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to win. They're looking for, a coach that's been around playoff winning basketball. So it makes sense. And we'll see what ends up happening, who they end up hiring or who gets poached, because they were trying to get Chauncey and he ended up leaving. So we're not leaving, but he ended up getting signed by Trailblazers. Yeah.
So, well, I'll say this one thing: if the Wizards want any one of these Bama's, they need to go ahead and start making moves and figure out, because we're not the only show in town that's trying to hire a head coach. So, them waiting and trying to see gonna leave you with the scraps, dog. You know how I go.
That is the scraps because they waited so long.
Yeah.
You didn't hear none of these dudes on anybody else's list?
Nah.
Other than maybe Sam.
Yeah.
But this is the scraps. Because, Jason Kidd got a job. It was
Right.
another black dude that got it. It's like 4 black head coaches got hired between the end of the season and now.
Maybe Millen Reed up.
Yeah.
I wonder what he got.
It was 4 years.
40.
Yeah, he got a check.
Got to be 40.
I think it was something like that, though. I can't remember the exact amount, but I remember it being a 4-year contract.
Yeah, definitely going to be paying attention to that. Hopefully they make the right decision. I mean, once they select the head coach, I'm going to go ahead and get his whole autobiography, and we going down. We going to vet if it's a good selection based upon just the externals. And then, of course, you got to show and prove. So
I'll at least watch. I didn't watch him at all this year. I wasn't doing another year Scott Brooks.
yeah, I couldn't do another year Scott Brooks, though.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched some games. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it
I
was
couldn't
tough.
do Scott Brooks no more.
They were unwatchable first half of the year.
Yeah. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Go to the OSS 980 on IG. Click the link tree. Go ahead, cop you some gear. You can get you a fresh OSS golf shirt, just like the one you see appearing right here. We gonna have some giveaways. We about to start working out some giveaways, doing some different things to increase the engagement. Shout out to Where's Buffy podcast, fam over there. Shout out to Jenna Garcia. We're gonna try to get her on the show in the upcoming weeks. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. Shout out to that's it, man. That's all we going, dog. That's how we going. And we out.